welcome to Better Results Marketing. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, and that is AI and real estate. Specifically, can you post AI-generated content on your website, or will it hurt your SEO score? I'm a real estate agent and have closed over $40 million in volume. I use AI in my business all the time, but there are some pitfalls that I avoid at all costs. And now, as a digital marketing agency owner, there are certain red flags that I tell any real estate client I work with to stay away from when it comes to AI. Let's dive in. AI-generated content is everywhere. And yes, it can do more than just help you generate listing descriptions. But when it comes to building your online presence, specifically your SEO score, can you use AI, or will the Google monster penalize you when it comes to the search engine rankings? Now, before we dive into this, you need to understand what SEO is and why it's one of the most powerful tools when it comes to building your real estate brand. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically, when people go to Google, how easy it is for them to find you. See, every single day there are hundreds of thousands of sites that are published to Google. The Google algorithm needs to decide what rank each site is going to take. So let's say there are 40 real estate agents in your area. 2 of them take SEO very seriously and 38 of them don't. Those 2 are going to show up first when it comes to search results. So when an interested buyer or seller gets on Google and searches a specific search term, those 2 real estate agents will show up first and second, and everybody else will be kicked toward the bottom of the ranking. Google tries to find the most legitimate businesses who put out the content that helps the most amount of people when it factors in who they're going to show first, second, third, fourth, etc. on their ranking. Now think about this. In your real estate business, if you took SEO seriously and could show up as one of those first couple of spots, you could choose to never spend another dollar on advertising and still have more business than you could ever imagine. Because how do you get a good SEO score? You put out lots and lots of content. There's a whole algorithm, there's a bunch of different things you can do, and without making this a 2-hour video that would bore you to death, basically you need to have as much good content that is relevant to what people are searching for as possible, which is where the AI conversation comes in. You don't have time to sit and write 20 blog posts a day. You can very easily put in a prompt to Bard or ChatGPT and spit out multiple blog posts per day. Is that a smart idea, or is Google smart enough to see the AI content and know that it's not actually you? And does Google even care? See, search engines like Google don't just rank websites based on keywords or what people are searching. They also rank them on how long people spend on their site. If you post a reel or a TikTok, you get graded by the algorithm on how long people spend watching that video. Google does the same thing. They see how long people spend on your site and use that to determine how valuable your content is. So if your content is boring and a lot of people click on it, but then click off the page very quickly, your SEO score is going to drop. We've all read articles or posts or something from ChatGPT that sounded robotic and was incredibly boring, right? Somehow you can just tell that a robot wrote it and not a human. So if you decide to use AI-generated content, that's one of the big risks or things to be aware of. Another one is you need to add value to your specific audience. ChatGPT doesn't know what questions your local buyers and sellers are asking. So when you have AI write a blog post for you, it's not going to hit the same pain points or address the concerns that your audience has. Number 3, Google looks to see whether or not your content is helpful and what problems it solves in your marketplace. And number 4, you need to focus on the user. Whether this is AI generated or not, your content needs to be focused on what your audience gets out of it, not talking about how great you are. Your content should not be all about how you're the best realtor in town and have done the most transactions and they shouldn't work with anybody but you. It should be user focused. It should be client focused. Just like if you're having a conversation with a client, you would want to talk about them and what their needs are and what they're looking for in an agent. Your content should reflect that as well. The biggest risk that I haven't talked about is the risk of unoriginal content. Based on some prompt that you give it, let's say, give me a blog about houses for sale in New York. And you type that in, you copy and paste it word for word into your system. Somebody else puts the same prompt in and the AI generates the same response. They use it as well. Guess what? You both are going to the bottom of the search rankings because that is one of the easiest ways for Google to identify there's AI generated content, is because you have the same content as somebody else. Clients that I work with, sounds like AI is a big risk. So do I actually use it? Yes. And here's how you can use AI safely to boost your SEO rankings and save you time. Number 1, idea generation. You can have AI spit out tens or hundreds of ideas for blog posts or newsletters or content for you to then execute on and dive deeper on. That's not going to have any problems because you're generating original content. Number two, you can use it for grammar and flow improvements. What I'll typically do is I will have ChatGPT spit out a bunch of ideas for me. Then I'll go word vomit on those ideas and either record it or type it out, whatever I want to do to get the information onto a page. And then I'll put it back into ChatGPT and say, hey, clean this up for me. That way I make sure that my grammar is correct and the structure of my sentences make sense, but it's still original content. Number three is answering FAQs. There are a lot of questions that my buyers or sellers may ask, and ChatGPT can give me good answers for them that then I can tweak and mold and tailor to my audience so that their questions get answered. At the end of the day, should you use AI to boost your SEO rankings? I think the best solution is to have somebody who knows what they're doing work on your SEO for your website so that you can get those free leads in that you otherwise wouldn't get, so that you never have to spend another dime on advertising, and so that you can continue to grow your brand. We do a hybrid approach where we have AI generate a lot of the content. Our content team then goes in and edits and adjusts so that the content is useful, helpful, original, and then we go in and post it from there. This allows us to do much more volume of content and address more keywords, boost the SEO score, get into a lot of technical stuff, but also saves a lot of time for them and money for our clients. We'll do everything we can to get you as high up as possible on the Google rankings and help you build a brand worth owning for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Or if you want to do SEO all by yourself, we've put together a bunch of free resources. I have a newsletter each week where I address different facets of marketing and how you as a real estate professional can leverage those in your business. So check that out. Check out our free resources on SEO. And if you have any questions, please book a discovery call. We have a link below. We'd love to just talk with you and see how we can help. Until next time.